An amazing event. There's a fly in here. I can't find it, but I can hear it. Let me remind you, if you'd like to support Let Women Speak and everything that we do, you can go to that thing up there. I can never do this. That, that, that. No, that. You can do that. You can press on that button and you can help fund our next event, which is going to be, let me double check. It's going to be on the 18th, I believe. That's a Saturday. But I'm going to check for you in Leeds. Our next actual event is going to be Hyde Park. And then on the Saturday, we're going to do Leeds, Saturday the 18th. Look, there are many ways to support what we do. Like, share, and subscribe. I mean, I often forget to do this bit. We are completely demonetized on YouTube. So if you want to donate, you can go to the little donate square up there, or you can go to standingforwomen.com/donate. Unfortunately, the events are getting more expensive for me because now I need a getaway car, because we can't rely on other factors like the police to make sure that I could get away safely. So I now need 2 bodyguards and a getaway car. How bad is that? I'm going to tell you now, hearing women going, "We say no," was particularly delightful. There is something about those women of Liverpool that is just so, I don't know, really down to earth. It really resonates with people. It just feels so amazing, so amazing. The TRAs came out. Let me just tell you from my point of view how it went. I think the police didn't give enough room at all in between us and the protesters. I think there were some women that felt intimidated and left. There are other women definitely who came near the event and felt too intimidated to join in. I quite understand how they feel. I am going to say to those women, I would really appreciate it if you still, despite your fear, came in. But, um, you know, I get it. I really do. I understand what that feels like. But the more that we allow our fear to prevent us standing with other women, the worse it's going to be for those other women that are stood there. Um, someone said, "Kay, getaway car. Bet you never thought you'd say that." Yes, I never thought I'd say that. I'm a law-abiding citizen. Um, look. Oh, get round the silly YouTube superstar and donate direct. Oh, thanks, band. You're very kind. And as always, to my amazing moderators who just skip on whenever I'm here and help make the chat uh, bearable for everybody else. So thank you so much. Um, so anyway, so they were surrounding. There were a lot of just regular young blokes just shouting at women. There was a man that I could see from where I was speaking. I just assumed just a regular, stupid young man, but he was actually wearing a dress. So he was an AGP, and you couldn't even see from the stage that he was an AGP. He just looked like a bloke. I don't know. Maybe the two things are connected. AGP and blokes are somehow connected. Was absolutely delighted as I'm stood there. I saw Quentin Letts, who, like him or loathe him, people love to read him. So hold your judgment because he wrote an absolutely fantastic article. There is something, there is something about the acerbic wit of intelligent British folk that make me very proud to be British, and he certainly has one of those just exquisite ways of expressing himself. The thing that I most like that he said, and I don't want to ruin his words because that would be such an insult. Um, Let me find it because I did share it yesterday. It was just lovely. Um, da-da. Also, much love to Emma Bateman yesterday outside the Green Party conference. So Quentin Letts said this: Miss Parker was at a microphone saying women felt threatened by trans zealots. The trans lot countered this suggestion by surrounding the small knot of feminists and screaming at them violently for more than more than an hour. There is something beautiful about that. Do drop in the comments the speeches that you love the most, maybe the little moments that you love the most of yesterday, if you watched it or if you were there. Do tell other people why it's really important to come. And thank you, as always, to the men that turn up. My stewards, we can't do without the stewards. They're not really my stewards, they're your stewards, if you like. They're the women that help facilitate the speeches so that you can feel that you can come and speak. And wow, the lady, the Jewish lady that spoke, and the other really broad scouser, and I mean, all of you that spoke were amazing. But to see the shaken hand of a woman speaking for the first time publicly, really shaking and still managing just such courage and passion in her speech was just an absolute, it's just a joy. It's what we do best. And as I always say, look, the thing that we want to do, our ultimate goal is to, even if this is the only thing we achieve, our ultimate goal is to create a space in which a woman who feels silenced and isolated in her own life and cannot speak about this thing comes into that space and actually speaks. That's the thing that we most want to do. That's the thing that's the most powerful. And what that woman can do, and she often doesn't realize it in the moment, and we don't know it until we hear her. But often what she does is she can speak to people that I can't, no matter how many words I say, I can't reach everybody. And these other women have the capacity to reach other women. But the first and the most important thing I think we do is we enable that one woman to speak, that one woman to say how they feel about this craziness. And then we liberate that woman from her silence. And then she enables other women to be liberated from their silence. And before you know it, there's a lot of women that really, really won't shut up. But just these off the cuff, passionate speeches, or the best prepared speeches, it doesn't really matter. But you will have the power when you come and speak of reaching women that you may never meet. You may never understand the impact that you have upon their lives. You may not. You may never. They may never tell you. You may never get a thank you. Your name may never not appear in a newspaper article. Um, you may never get retweeted on Twitter. You may just stay completely anonymous, but you will have changed somebody's life with just coming out and speaking, and that is extraordinary. Now, a side benefit is that we get a community of women and men, but a community, let's stick to women, a community of women in that crowd who have conversations with each other and feel empowered and amazing and invigorated just for standing in that crowd and listen to those speeches. And them listening to those speeches enables those speeches because they provide an audience for those speeches, and also some safety and the space in which those speeches can happen. So please do not discount anybody just turning up and just listening and being too afraid to speak. Now, there's other things that happen. The other things that happen is that we have this YouTube channel, and every single one of you that watches, and every single one of you that likes, shares, subscribes, and makes a comment in the sidebar, every single one of you, you give women the courage to turn up in the first place. You give those women to turn up. So without you, I have no channel. I have no voice. Without an audience, I might as well just scream into the void. And then because of that, because of what you do, because of your engagement as an audience, as women who care about this stuff, I'm able to do this. And then I'm able to invite women along. And you guys actually spread the ideas and tell other people that they're happening. And then lo and behold, you get that powerful speech. So every time you watch this channel, every time you like, share, subscribe, comment, or just add your number to the view, right? To how many viewers this particular bit or all of the things that I do, every single view means that you enable someone to speak. So I just want it to be really, really clear that watching something, liking, sharing, subscribing, donating, being the billboard, none of those things are passive acts. They are all a really important part of the jigsaw that means that that woman with a shaken voice who feels silence in her own life, who cannot speak at work, who finally had the courage to come and speak. She did that because you're watching this channel, because you watching this channel enables other women to turn up, because those women turning up enable other women to speak. It's a beautiful little ecosystem of voices that we create here. And without you watching and liking and sharing and subscribing and commenting, there is no Let Women Speak event. Okay? So it just has to be really, really clear that you understand the part that you play in all of this. And then beautifully, um, I then, love and goodwill can only go so far, but actually we need funds and we need a crazy amount of funds. And we really do budget on a shoestring here at Let Women Speak, but it doesn't cost a shoestring. And we have paid members of staff. And we ask you to be the billboard because there is nothing more magic and empowering than a sea of women with like the definition of woman or a witch on her t-shirt. And I just so love it that when I look out and I just there are moments that I look out and I think, oh, I made that, I designed that, I did that. And it's pretty wonderful. So yeah, so just keep doing what you're doing, and we can keep finding these beautiful gems throughout this country and the rest of the world of these crazy, wonderful speeches that you just, these women aren't speech writers. They're not standing up in their local councils all the time making speeches. It might sometimes be the first time they've ever spoken publicly, but it's just wonderful. Sometimes I've talked about this before, but you watch someone quite unassuming trying to grab my attention so that they can come and talk, and they're quite unassuming, they're quite quiet, and then they just, oh my god, they just roar these amazing, amazing t-shirt. It's because I've just read the sidebar. These amazing speeches, and so it really is wonderful. So anyway, so the police, where we were, I would always expect. Look, I'm glad the TRAs come. They make us look great. So one of the other things that happens when we speak is the TRAs turn up. And like I say, if one woman speaks, if only one woman speaks, then it's a win for us. If women can't speak, or if people scream and shout at us while we speak, we win. If they try and shout so much that we feel intimidated and we can't speak, then we still win. Because what we are trying to do with what we say, on top of everything else, is we are trying to tell everybody else. There are no super chats because I'm demonetized, by the way. We are trying to let everybody else know exactly what's going on. We chose the Liverpool because the Labour Party conference is there. We know that amongst the trans, mad, allies, whatever, um, uh, we know that there were lots of people with lanyards who belong to certain unions, who belong to certain groups. And we know they're going to come. And I tell them that if you come and you shout at us, you just prove us right. So I tell them, and they still come because they're morons. And if they don't turn up, yeah, we still win. So yeah, it's fine. It's fine. You carry on, boys. You make us look amazing. So anyway, I just wanted to say that it's always quite exhausting. After like a big event like that. But look, we are small. We are a really, really small organization. Like sometimes I think people write to us thinking that I have like a warehouse of staff, but we're a really, really small organization because we have to keep our expenses quite tight around staff. So all the people that work for me or volunteer for me, they stretch their time as much as humanly possible. But what we do need is we need you to be the billboard. That's the best way to raise funds. It has this two-way purpose, maybe five-way purpose. You purchase something, we do something with those funds. You wear a t-shirt, you may empower yourself by wearing that t-shirt and feel like you're actually doing something and feel part of something. Or it means that you let somebody else know in your local area that they're no longer going nuts. I can't tell you how many people I meet, how many women I meet who talk about finding this channel, and what we say here actually saves them from their sanity, and they feel like otherwise they're going utterly insane, and they feel so gaslit. Um, so anyway, so you can contribute by being the billboard, and then actually by being the billboard, you send messages to other women. And then with what we do here, we send messages to other women, and it's just this beautiful. Like I say, it's a microclimate of women. We are a global constituency of women, and what we do here is we really do make use of every single resource, and some of that resource is simply your goodwill, but some of that resource really does have to be you being the billboard. And if you want to be the billboard really successfully, I bet I still can't do this, but no, I'm not going to do it because I can't reach. But the witch stickers are, oh my gosh, amazing. They glow like crazy. So we have witch stickers, which is 1692 to 2023. And this is not about the occult. So some people sort of talk about it being this is not. This is about women being killed by people who thought she was different, and she was an uppity woman. And because she was an uppity woman who didn't toe the line, it meant they accused her of being a witch. That is the significance of witches in this campaign. It's because witch really, TERF is the new witch. It's just an accusation. Nobody really thinks witches were flying around on brooms. That's all I can say. Anyway, as Ali Snyder says about the stickers, they are so freaking awesome. I'm waiting to hear about the Party of Women. We've submitted again. It's going to be another couple of weeks. Look, we're going to have a party. Then they're not going to be able to stop us from having a party. We're going to have a party, and it's going to be amazing. And I can't tell you how many people yesterday I spoke to who want to stand. And I think people, local councillors, that's where you're going to have a really direct impact, and the PCCs, and also MPs is going to be amazing. We're just going to look for my money. I think Labour is going to get elected in the next election, and then they're going to obliterate all our rights in one fell swoop. And we are going to need this party of women to stand against Labour and stand up for this madness. And the first thing I'd like to do is get rid of the GRA and get rid of all of this utter crap from schools and universities. I want to make it painful, financially painful for anybody, any university to allow this cult to fester. And I want to make it career ending for any teacher to use this propaganda in schools. It's quite simple. It's quite simple. We will save the children and the young people, and then by virtue of that, we will save society. Anyway, look, if you can stand up and be counted, even when all those around you think you're totally balmy, then I promise we will win. If you can come to Leeds on the 18th, or I think it's the 25th of October for Reformers Tree, and it's going to be fancy dress. Let me tell you. If you can come to Reformers Tree on the 29th, and it's fancy dress, by the way, then I promise we will win. And do you know why else we're going to win? Because I never lose. Go and help yourself.
E mi suoni